Nom 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 nom. Hello everybody, it's Gear to you, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Today, we'll be finishing off Vah Rudania.
Watch yourself now. That ugly pain in the crag is Ganon's handiwork. Thing got the best of me 100 years ago. Good luck, little guy. Go get him! Watch out for that sword.
And now it's time to fight Fireblight Ganon. Honestly, probably the second easiest of all of Calamity Ganon's forms in the game. So what you want to do is, when Fireblight Ganon is about to attack you like this, when he charges up an attack like that, he's going to swing around 3 times, so you want to keep an eye out for that. Fire attacks, there's really not much you could do to counter that, you just run away. And when he does that, we can do a Flurry Rush. I'm going to switch my spear because a Drill Shaft is a lot more useful for attacking things like rocks and things like that, not very great for combat. But we'll attack a Fireblight Ganon and destroy him and go to blood. And that's going to be pretty fun. So, you can jump out of the way like that as well, and it's going to be pretty fun. By the way, I gotta say, I love how one of the arms is a lot bigger than the other one. Just like, look at Fireblight Ganon's left arm. It's just so tiny compared to the other one. It's like that episode of The Simpsons when Homer is, like lifting weights with only one arm and things like that. So, one of his arms gets massive, but the other one is just regular. And we can do the Flurry Rush. Honestly, this one is probably the easiest of the Calamity Ganon forms to do a Flurry Rush on. Now, if you have trouble with that, remember you can also do that attack as well. And I'm honestly surprised that I got that because my timing is usually not that great.
That flaming ball is dangerous.
And this form is just barely different. It's not really that more difficult or anything like that. What you want to do now is you want to have one of your bomb runes sucked into the flaming vortex of terror. I recommend having a two-handed weapon on you, but it doesn't really look like we have a good one. So a spear would also be useful so you can get just a little bit more damage in. We might as well throw this so that we can make room in our inventory. As we go across this, I would like to talk about the Divine Beasts themselves because there's some really cool history behind them. The names of the two that we've come across so far, Vah Rudania and Vah Rudania, their names are both references to Ocarina of Time sages. We see Vah Rudania is a reference to Ruto from Ocarina of Time, who was the Zora princess. And Rudania, I believe, is an anagram of Darunia, so that's pretty cool too. That's going to be a trend we'll see all across our adventure, but one thing that took me a little while to figure out a good information on was the word Va. There's Vah Rudania and Vah Rudania and things like that. So I wanted to know what the actual word Va meant. Now I found a few translations. I found that it's Hebrew for nail or bind together or things like that. But I think the translation that makes the most sense is Pali, because in Pali, Va means carry, which makes sense because the Divine Beasts are carrying the champions across Hyrule on their battlefields. So I think that's the translation that probably makes the most sense. If you missed any treasure chests, go back and get them now. You will not be able to come back here ever.
Great work, little guy! I owe you big for this. Because of you, my spirit is finally free. Can't thank you enough. I feel like I should apologize. I was doing all I could to protect Hyrule when that thing got the best of me. Sorry that me wrestling with the rubble caused such a mess. The good news is, Rudania is now back under our control. That means that our century-old Ganon beatdown plan can finally go into effect. I'm gonna take this down the mountain. I'll have a better shot at Ganon there. And then, once you've made your way into Hyrule Castle, we're gonna light that thing up. I want to give you something. It's a special power of mine called Daruk's Protection. It's no good to me now that I'm a spirit, but it might be useful for you. Here it comes! From this moment forth, the power of protection from the depths of my soul now lives inside you. Good luck, little guy. And give my regards to the princess. That ought to do it. We're set here. Now we just gotta wait for the perfect shot. Once Link is in the castle, Rudania will unleash an epic blast. Ganon won't know what hit him. Hyrule looks pretty good from up here, even after 100 years. The old rolling grounds sure are a sight for sore eyes. I wonder how the Gorons fared after the Great Calamity. I sure hope everyone down there is still going strong after every... Huh? Hey, look at that. Still going strong indeed. Ha! Huh.
Yeah! Yeah! Woo!
Daruk's Protection, a protective power containing the perfect defense of the champion Daruk. It will automatically protect you from all manner of attacks as long as you are holding the ZL button. So this is really cool, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So this is the first this is the first champion ability we get that can actually have multiple uses. So this will defend us against most attacks in the game, and will provide a perfect shield counter for most attacks. Now it obviously doesn't work if you jump in lava or anything like that, but it's something that's very well worth mentioning. Now, just like what we're doing with Mipha's Grace, we will not have the champion abilities activated during side quest episodes, but we will for the next couple episodes in the playlist, because for the side quest we'll be taken care of across this place, we're going to have beaten the Divine Beast anyway, so it's not that big of a spoiler. But anyway, without further ado, let's talk to Bluto.
Hey, it's you. Unibel told me everything. You really are something else, brother, you know that? I can't believe you conquered Rudania. Color me impressed. But good grief, did you have to do it just for my back pain? I was all ready and raring to go at Rudania myself. Now you've gone and made it look like I was just fibbing about my back pain the whole time. Imagine that. Me! Oh, and I'm also happy to see Uniball finally got his act together. I know that's your doing as well. But enough back patting on other such nonsense. Take a look at this. The Divine Beast Vah Rudania has calmed down and returned to his peaceful ways. Now we can get back to digging for ore around Death Mountain. Oh, right. I've still gotta thank you, brother. There's some treasure in my house. Grab it, keep it, it's yours. It's a sharp blade that Daruk himself once wielded. I'm sure you'll be able to make good use of it. However, well, as a Hylian, you probably already know this, but apparently 100 years ago, the Hylian champion had a legendary blade, the sword that seals the darkness. They say the sword sleeps in the forest somewhere, waiting. I bet you'd like to find it, eh? You should go looking.
Well, we've already found one, and we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're only one heart container away from getting the Master Sword? I did not think that would happen so quickly. Okay, we're definitely gonna make that a priority. But we go inside here and we can get our sweet, sweet reward. The Boulder Breaker. The boulder is conflicted. This two-handed weapon was once wielded by the Goron champion Daruk. Daruk made swinging it around look easy, but a Hylian would need an immense amount of strength. So, yeah. A two-handed weapon. This is really, 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 really good. But, just like Mipha's weapon, we will not be using it right now. Seeing how massive this thing is compared to Link, it's really, really funny. This thing is bigger than he is. So now we can return home. And hang our weapon up on the wall. And also, just like before when we saved a location from the horrors of a Divine Beast, I apologize for this camera's terrible quality. With this, we'll be able to get a bunch of rock materials and things like that, so that's pretty neat. And we can also collect a Cobble Crusher. That's pretty decent. Alright, so we'll also see on screen every possible weapon that you can get from the Daruk amiibo. So that's pretty neat as well. I absolutely love the Breath of the Wild amiibos, because they're all just so great and highly detailed and things like that. And I already told the story about why the Daruk amiibo is particularly special to me, but in case you missed that episode, my baby niece got in my room a couple of weeks back and started playing with my amiibos, and it seemed like Daruk and another character we haven't met yet were her favorites, so that's pretty fun. Daruk in particular was the one that she played with the most. Hey, Pluto. Hey, Pluto. Guess what? Pluto, guess what? Hate to drop in on you. Alrighty then, so now that we've taken care of all that, we're ending this video off here. So thank you all so much for watching this episode of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The options are where to go next. You get on the next video on the playlist where we'll be taking care of side quests across Goron City. Just so you know, because we wrapped up a big story event, we're going to take care of side quests for a little while, so it's going to be a little while before we take care of the next Divine Beast, which, speaking of which, the alternate route option is to just completely skip over all the side quest content and stuff like that, and go straight for the next Divine Beast. You can also search for Koroks across the Elden region, or ignore everything and go straight for Ganon. So thank you all so much for watching this episode of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I believe to you, and where would you like to go to next?